Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Sunday Live. Apologies for being late. Again, technical issues. Seems like it's a running thing every Sunday. But I'm here. Hopefully it's going out live. Let me just make sure I can see what you guys can see. Just give me a second. And let's throw this over here so I can see. Hopefully you've had a good weekend so far. And you're enjoying your Sunday morning. Right. I'm assuming it's going out live because I can see what you guys can see. Hopefully you guys can see me and hear me. And hopefully it doesn't sign out like it was doing when I was doing the tech check this morning. But anyway, welcome. Let's say hello to some of you guys. Let's do this one. It's easier. Bring this down a little bit. Clifford, not seen you before, so welcome to you. Barry, good morning. Welcome back. God, these comments are so big. Let's do it better. Your fairy test is tomorrow. First of all, let me just wish you luck for tomorrow, just in case. If you've got any questions before we sign out, concerns, put it in the chat. If you guys have got a question, please put a Q, semicolon. It makes it so much easier for me to find because there's so many comments coming through. So it gets missed in between. But if you put a Q, semicolon, I'll see it as a question and I'll answer it. Sammy Travels, welcome. XD Edits. Passed a month ago. Congratulations on passing. And thank you for coming to the live and let me know how you got on. Beverly, welcome to you. John, not seen your name before, I don't believe, but welcome. 2nd of December. So you got about 3 weeks, give or take. Yeah, got another 2-3 Sundays on the live. And this is for all of you. When you guys are studying during the week, if you've got any questions, concerns, write them down so you can remember them. Bring it to the live and let's discuss it. Don't sit there on your own struggling and then come Sunday, you don't ask any questions. This is what this is about live. So I can ask the questions, answer the questions personal to you rather than a generic answer. So, John, don't be afraid to write down your questions and bring them along next Sunday. The yellow YouTuber. Again, I'm not seeing your name before, so welcome to you. Oh, you passed it. Well done. Congratulations. 44, 50, 53, 75. That's bad information. You didn't. There's no way of knowing what you got 0 for just because you clicked 8 times. That's bad information. If you're clicking less than 8 times, you stand a chance of getting more zeros. If you click on things that's a hazard, it's hard to explain it without seeing what you actually did, but you can click more than 8 times per video. That is a fact. As long as you're clicking on things that exist. And there's no way that you're going to know why you got a 0. And probably because you spammed it quick succession. If you're clicking 6-7 times, one go for one hazard, they're going to kick you out. But if you click 8 across the video, that's fine. Asana, good morning to you. Tina, good morning. Hopefully I'm saying this right. Sifumini. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. But good morning, anyone. I've not seen your name before, definitely. Good morning to you. Sugar, good morning to you. Test is tomorrow, another one tomorrow. I wish you guys luck with your tests tomorrow and this week if you've got any coming up. Sammy Travers got the 28th of October, so you got another couple of weeks. I got 38 out of 50. That's 12 questions wrong. That's 38. And has perception 41, so you failed both parts. Hopefully, you don't say when you took your test. Hopefully you've gone back to square one. That's what I would do if you was my student. 38. You don't want to be getting 30 on the real test. 41, 42, 38. That's the lack of knowledge. And also with 41, you don't know what hazard is if you're getting 41 on the real test as well. So that was, if you was my student, I'd be advising you to go back to square one, do the individual subjects, categories, and work out what a hazard is. Because again, 41 on a hazard perception is low for a real test. But hopefully you've done that. Good morning, Romeo. Probably saying that totally wrong, but anyway, good morning, Patty. Good morning to you. Right, let me do the overview first and foremost before we continue. But remember, keep your questions coming in and keep your comments coming in. I'll catch up with you at some point. Right, overview. So when you go for your test, it is 50 questions, multiple choice. Get rid of that. Your questions is made up of 14 different categories. Again, I'm going to keep saying this week in, week out, because I still get emails. I've had about 3 people email me this week to say they took their tests and they failed it, don't know why. Well, they do know why, because the questions were different from the apps. The questions are going to be different from the apps because the apps are sampled questions. They are not the real questions. You guys are still studying the apps as if to say, right, if I study the apps, passed on the apps, I'm going to pass the real test. No, the apps are giving you sampled questions so you can start to understand what the questions mean, understand the logic behind the question, so you can understand the why the answer is what it is. If you are studying to kind of memorize the questions and answers from the app, the chances are you're going to fail, because when the questions come up on the real test and the answers, you're not going to understand what it means. It's about understanding why the answer is what it is. And the test is random. So if there's 10 of you in the room, it's going to be 10 different tests. That's the reason why I keep stressing, do the categories, because you don't know how your categories are going to be made up overall. Time wise, you have 57 minutes for the question side of things, which is more than enough time. If you studied, it's more than enough time, especially if you flag questions and then you go back to it, we can spend more time. But I stress with all my students, if it means taking 57 minutes to pass it, take the 57 minutes to pass it, rather than rushing it, doing 20 minutes because you feel like you need to get in and get out for some reason and failing. That does not make sense to me. And then once you've done that, you move on to the hazard perception, which is 14 videos. One of them's got a double hazard, and the other 13's got a single hazard, which has got a maximum of 5 on the videos. Someone just mentioned don't click more than 8 times, which is totally wrong. I'll prove it as well when I do the demonstration in a minute. That's a bad advice. I've had students come into my class being told the same thing, but it wasn't 8, it was 10 or 12, and they was failing. And the reason why they was failing was counting their clicks, and they used up their 10, 12 clicks, whatever it was. And the hazard was at the end of the video. So obviously in their mind, they told themselves, I can't click anymore. And the hazard was near the end of the video. So that's, like I said, that's a bad advice. You don't want to be clicking 8 times for one problem, 2 or 3 times for one problem, and you still be fine. But I'll demonstrate that at the end with as perception, because you guys are still struggling with that as well. What are you looking for in terms of an answer is safety. The driving test is about safety and control. That's what the examiner looks for on outcomes of any given thing that you do. On your driving test, the test is no different. They're looking for safety or controlled outcome of any given question and answer. So that's what you're looking for. The other thing I will say, at the moment, the waiting list is open for my 30-day bootcamp, which is going to be released, and the doors will open next week, probably next Sunday after the live, where if you want to pass your theory test before December, this may be for you. It's a 30-day study camp where I'm going to track your progress on a weekly basis. You can join the theory study camps, which is Monday to Thursday. I keep glitching. I'm just noticing my camera keeps freezing. Hopefully you guys are not seeing that, and hopefully it's going out clear for you, but my camera keeps freezing in front of me. Well, anyway, so yeah, this is going to be done just before Christmas, just before next week, to get you guys past before Christmas. If you don't pass before Christmas, it's not a problem. You still got access. Once you pay, you're in until you pass, and you got access to everything. other than the personal training. The personal training is only for a month, where I'm going to monitor your progress, talk to you, send you messages to make sure you stay on point. And if you don't pass, and you've done the work, that is, I'm going to pay for your next theory test. That's how confident I am with the study camp as well with that. So if you're interested in that, the link is in the description. You can sign up for the waiting list. And when the doors open, you get priority email first, and then it'll be open up on Monday to Joe Public with that. So let me catch up with you guys. Nato, good morning. To your last stream. Okay, brilliant. Thank you for coming to the live. Let me know that you've passed. Congratulations. You guys, when you pass, when you've type it in that you've passed, let me know what your next step is as well. Been a long time since I talked to you guys about your driving side of it. Are you taking driving lessons? Are you going to look to book an instructor? What's your next step? So let's do this. I'm just talking and not saying hello to these guys. Amy, good morning to you. Good morning, Florence. I'm going to use Florence because I can't pronounce your first name. 42. Is this close? We go again. The categories, look at the categories where you got the questions wrong. That would tell you your weaknesses on that one. That's what I would do. But it says go again. I'm hoping that that was your first attempt and not your second. If it's your second attempt, then what I suggest you do is put the paperwork side by side and see if there's a common denominator of categories, and then you want to study those categories again. Salau. Congratulations on passing. Thank you for letting me know. Appreciate that. Tina. First of all, 5th of December is a little way away, so you've got time, even with the kids in tow. Nerves is natural. That's a natural thing. I keep saying that to my students, and I'll say it to you guys on the lives. Being nervous is a natural human emotion. Just don't make the nerves control you. That's the main thing. Once it starts to control you, the brain will do what it wants, pick the answers it wants. You just need to stay calm enough to think clear when you're doing your test. But once you get in, if you've studied the way you're saying you are hard studying, you'll know your stuff. Once the questions come up and it looks familiar to you, you start to calm down a little bit. Same thing on your driving test as well. You calm down once you start driving and you think, oh, the examiner's not a monster. 42. Again, what I'll do is go back to basics on that. Look at the categories that look at the categories you got the questions wrong in, and then go from there and build up the knowledge again. All right, let's start this mock test. Laura, good morning to you. All right. Let me share my screen first if I can remember how to do this. There we go. Right, so let's get rid of this. Right, those of you that are new, let's read the question. You're driving with your front fog lights switched on. What should you do if the fog has cleared? This is A, this is B, this is C, this is D. If you think it's A, please put 1A as your comment. Because I need to make sure we're on the same number. You've taken the effort to type it out. I like to take the effort to show it. But I can't show it if it's not got the question number beside it. And remember, if you guys got any questions, type it into the comment section, Q semicolon. Also about your driving lessons, driving test. Let me answer those as well. Good morning. Send that good morning to everyone, then to me. That's brilliant. Love that. 46 and 43. I'm assuming passed on the questions, failed on the hazard perception. I will do a hazard perception demonstration later on, and with the 8 clicks as well, just to sorry, I'm just looking at berries. Is that my network or your network? Because my camera's glitching, like I said, but the stream is smooth other than my camera. Good morning. It's freezing over here. Is it freezing for other people as well? Let me just let me know that. If it's freezing for others, if it's just berry. Francisca. Congratulations on passing and the perseverance. Keep going, third time lucky. And thank you for the kind words and the shares, I believe. I appreciate that. Another pass, 43. God, you guys are just passing it. And 58, but pass is a pass, but I would still study your theory because you need it for your driving side of it. How can I join the boot camp? I'm phasing the boot camp out. It's the study camp I would advise you to go for. And the link is in the description for the waiting list. And then once the doors open, you'll get an email to get a chance to sign up before Joe Public. But honestly, I wouldn't do the boot camp. I would do the 30-day camp, because 30 days, the boot camp is literally 5-day training and that's it really. And then you get access to all the videos and everything else. But everything you get in the boot camp, you get more over 30 days. Plus you're going to get me training you, literally keeping tabs on your scores, telling you what you should be studying, giving you motivation. And there's a community, there will be a community in there where you can go and ask questions. There's other students going to be in there as well. It's better than the boot camp, put it that way. So I would wait for that. Esther, good morning. All right. Everyone's doing well, love that. Barry, I just seen your comment. Let me get to the answers first and then I'll come back to your comment. Sammy's out, the first one out. You guys ain't put, right, I'm going to show it because it's the first one, so I know that we're on A. But please put the question number, otherwise it doesn't get shown. Welcome, first time seeing you live. Welcome. Hopefully learn something while you're here. Again, you guys ain't putting the question number. Like I said, I will show it on this one because I know we're on the first one, so it tallies. Right, 1A. Yeah, turn them off. The fog lights are bright enough to dazzle people. Dazzle means temporary blindness for the theory test in daylight. So you need to turn them off once the fog is lifted. What should you do if a red light starts flashing as you approach a level crossing? With your theory test, this is for the real test, not just for this. Always read the question. Always look at the images because sometimes there's clues in the image, and then go looking for your answers. Don't go from there, have a quick glance, actually study the image. This is for your real test, because like I said, sometimes there's clues in there that can help you out. I don't know what I did there. Hold on 1 second. Let me put that back. All right, let's get back to your comments. About the different type. What's tracking lights? Barry, just explain what you mean by tracking lights. Oh, traffic lights. Is that what you mean? Traffic lights. Just confirm that for me, please. Because there's quite a few traffic lights. Or pedestrian crossing, they're not really traffic lights. Just confirm if you mean traffic lights. Shakar, I've not seen your name before, so welcome to you. $42.55. If it's expired, that means you've done it over 2 years ago. The theory test gets updated every 2 years, hence why the failure. And that's why they do the theory test, because once you pass your driving test, technically you don't pick up a book again. That's why your knowledge needs to be strong. And that could be one of the reasons why. I know you may have probably studied, but things change over 2 years. But hopefully you get it next time. 4 questions from the dashboard came out from our theory test. That I have not come across. Maybe you can treat dashboard science if possible. I could do a video on that. I'm looking for ideas for videos next year, but the dashboard questions will be your ADAS questions, which I've got a video for, which is on the channel. So the dashboard questions will be your ADAS